Yes, Baba, I mean this, Oliver. Who are the Dan man? Me say who are the Dan man? And who are the comedian? Now who are the comedian?
This is Caribbean
Then
Global
which man is a
Television in association with Caribbean Celebrities. My name is Lovena Brown, and I'm here to speak to one of the most famous actor, singer, comedian out of the parish of St. Mary in Jamaica. You know what? Follow me. Actor, comedian, singer, DJ, Oliver Samuels, out of the parish of St. Mary in Jamaica. Hi, Oliver.
Hello, Lovena. How are you?
Oliver, you know, can you just walk us through your path growing up in St. Mary?
That's a long path, but let me try.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born on an estate called Tremolesworth, which was owned by the Delissas. My father was a common laborer, and my mother, she was a housewife come seller. She sells things like on a payday she would sell things like ginger beer and what's that thing, snowball, and all the what we call flan, like fried fritters and fried fish and fried dumplings and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And during the week she would do it and, you know, credit the men who work on the estate.
Okay.
1
minute, Oliver. You know when I said estate, you're talking about something like one of those slavery things.
Yeah, it's a plantation, and because what they made, like the houses, for example, they were all structured. They were called barracks.
Yeah.
Like where soldiers on camps did,
yeah.
barracks, but they were like they were long barracks. Would say probably 10 families living on one block. So like you'd have 5 houses at the front and 5 at the back. And then you have the little kitchen.
Yeah.
I can't recall like a community kitchen. It was like single kitchens for each family. But it was a wonderful time for me because we knew as children we were protected by every adult in the community.
Yeah.
We were learned or taught manners and respect because of all of that. Because any adult could beat you.
Your parent.
You know, any adult is your parent. You could eat at anybody's yard.
Yeah.
You know, so things that even though we were poor economically, spiritually, and socially, we were very rich because we grew up. All of us as kids grew up together in that community. And then when I was about, say, 12 or so, we moved out of that situation. Actually, it had changed because the Delissas were selling the properties and some people bought pieces of the land and things. Well, we didn't. And so we moved into Harmony Hall on a piece of land that was rented to us by this very kind lady, Mrs. Mitchell. And so my mother and father, they built a little house there, and we stayed there until I got a scholarship. I went off to Dintil, and hence the trek. Dintil was like my university, and I've learned quite a bit there, educationally, socially, and then it was time for me now to move out of there. I graduated from Dintil. I didn't do too much in passing of subjects. You know, actually, I only passed English language at the time.
Okay.
And I went back to St. Mary, back to roots, back to ground, and got a job with the Ministry of Agriculture on the Orange River Experimental Farm. And I stayed there a few years, and then it was about a year. And then a friend of mine who we boarded together in Linstead, but we went to Linstead, so we boarded together in Linstead. I saw him one Friday evening. So I said, wait, Jeremy, where are you? And he said, no sir, we can't live without you. So you will come from. So he came, and I gave notice to the people that I was working with at Orange River, and I went off to Kingston.
So where were your parents at that time?
My mother by then had passed, and my father was still in St. Mary, in Harmony Hall. And I went to Kingston and got a job. This is very interesting.
But Oliver, you live in St. Mary, you know what you was going to Kingston to do?
No, but then you know, the time that you're young and adventurous, I never had. At the time, there were, I think, 2 kids were on the block. And, but you're young and thing, you know. And of course, naturally, a friend would see you through, help you in the weeks and months that you would not be working or anything like that. But I wasn't giving thought to that.
Okay.
So I went to Kingston, and luckily I got a job very quickly, but I never stayed there long. I stayed there actually half a day. Because they want me to sign contract. And one of the reasons for my being in Kingston was to get into theatre.
Okay.
Right? So, because they wanted me to sign a contract, and I said, but supposing I sign this contract, and then I get to do theatre, it might be a problem, because I had applied to be a junior, what is it now? What is it? Proofreader.
Okay.
Right? A junior proof. So, and it wasn't nice to get me work and thing, and if the theatre calls, I would be going. That was my whole thing.
So you knew from you were living in St. Mary that you wanted to act?
Yes. From a little bit, you know, maybe I act from a little bit, you know. Because I like when they were like church service, things like cantatas.
Yes.
They would be performing. When the school warm up, the piano for repair, they organize the concert and everything like that. So I was really very involved. I didn't know that it would take me to this point, but that was the case. So I left the job, the half day, and I went.